Well, morning, Marty. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks. Apart from the lovely traffic on the M2 coming down the road.
Hey, first world problems.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
so Marty, tell me a little about yourself and your business.
Well, I've been barbering now for 25 years, thereabouts, although I don't like to admit that. And I've got a barber shop in Hollywood in County Down. I use the Jason Shanky brand, the Shanky Mill Grooming. I've been up here in town now. It'll actually be 9 years on Friday, I think, this week, so a couple of days time. But I've also sort of started to branch out. And last year I opened a deli, like half of it's a deli, like Artisan foodstuffs, and the other half of it is American confectionery. So it's kind of like both stuck in best of both worlds as such, and I've been up there now. It's just over a year in February past.
Fantastic. My wife and my daughter. I think you've covered the whole family off with that one with a
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, that was the plan.
Very good, very good. And so tell me, whenever you were growing up, did you envisage being a deli owning barber businessman?
Well, the barber thing was always a thing because my dad's actually a barber. So he trained me how to cut hair, and my dad done his time in the Executive in Castle Street, one of the oldest barber shops in town. So he trained me. So I knew I was always going to be a barber, whether it be in the family business or out on my own. But as I got a little bit older, I sort of discovered I was fiercely independent. So it was always going to be a thing that I was going to do myself. With regards to the other shop, the deli, it sort of came up something I wanted to do in town here, because when you work in a barber shop, you get to know the town, you get to know the people and what they want and what's expected in their town. And I seen that there was a space in town for something like this. So it was a case of just waiting for the right place to do it, and the right money to do it and whatnot. And then just after COVID, I found a little spot that sort of came up, and I went for it. And I think sometimes when it comes to me doing other things outside of barbering, a lot of it comes from my mum and dad. My dad had the barber shop, but my mum was very entrepreneurial. She had lots of different businesses when I was a kid growing up. So it kind of feels natural and normal for me to have new things like this.
Right. And tell me, who would be, if I think about the deli, that sounds like a really interesting concept. So who would be your ideal customer?
What you want is my deli is like it's different from most little delis. It's like I sort of brand it and market it as a shop of treats. So it's like if you want nice things, you come see us, and that goes from, mom and dad who can buy we have sushi made, or I have like a stock like Artisan foodstuffs like burn balsamics, and if mom and dad want that, they can get that. Or if the kids want to come and get the rare sort of American confectionery or Japanese confectionery that I can bring in from abroad, their Jolly Ranchers and stuff, they can come and get it too. If you want them to do your shopping for the week, maybe not so much. But if you want some nice things, I'm your man.
Good man. I've got an 11-year-old daughter, so I know what Jolly Ranchers are.
And it's anything blue. If it's blue, they want it. I don't know why, but they do.
There you go. And yeah, I can relate to that. I've seen the amount of blue stuff in the house. Unbelievable. What would you say, Marty? What's been your biggest learning since being a business owner?
I think people's perception of what you do is interesting. I always knew that people can sort of make assumptions about what you are and what you do in life, just in general, because I know that from working so closely with the public all the time. But sometimes I think when people see you in business, they think that you're something. We're all Elon Musk, but we're not. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like sometimes people think that, oh, look at him and he's got his two shops and he must be making a few quid. And it's not really like that. It's a very difficult thing to do. I think you have to have a passion for doing it, and it's not as financially rewarding as some people might think it is. And I always see there's a disconnect between the reality of the business and how people perceive the business put together.
Yeah, it's really insightful and really interesting. What would you, or tell me, who's the first person that comes to mind when you think about the word success?
Whenever I think of that, it's instantly someone like Bezos or Musk. But I always caveat that by saying that the degrees of success, and it depends on how you quantify it and what way you want it to be. So you would have someone like Bezos who built a business from nothing through ruthless business profiteering, or you have someone like Elon who's brilliant at everything he does and his imagination coming out his ears. But then you have people like Cristiano Ronaldo who just work really, really hard to be the best footballer there is. So it depends on what sort of success you mean. But those sort of people And I think that the main personality trait through all that is they're driven hard.
Really good. Some great examples there. And what about, if I think of inspiration, what inspires you the most today, Marty?
I've sort of come to a part in my life now where I feel capable. You know, I have the barbershop here, so I'm a little bit more financially secure than I've ever been in my life. And I'm quite a creative type of person anyway. It comes with the territory of what I do. And I feel like I can do things, and I can make things, and I can create things, and I can do stuff for a little community like Hollywood. And I feel like if I can do it now, if I don't do it now, I'll probably miss the boat. So I kind of have to strike while the iron's hot, if you get me.
Absolutely. And if I'm sure it wasn't that long ago, but if it were possible, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
I thought about this. People have said this to me before, and the answer would probably be none, because I don't think I would listen. But, because who ever listens to anyone when they're 18?
Yep.
You know, and it's like I don't. I'm a different type of person. I don't really live with regret and stuff. I don't regret the choices I've made in my life. I just have done it, and that's just what it is. And I think if I tried to steer myself in a different direction, I would have a very different outcome. So you know, it's like kind of like that. And any advice I ever give to the young people that come into the shop and sit in my seat is, don't listen to advice. That's kind of it.
Yeah, there's a bit of an irony in that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. But yeah.
All right, brilliant. Love it, love it. And what about, do you have any favorite quotes or sayings that particularly sort of
I do more so not really as much a quote as like a direction. Like I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson, the Canadian clinical psychologist. And I know Jordan got a lot of stick and flack 6 or 7 years ago about his stance on various different things. But when you scrape that away and you look at Jordan and his philosophy on life and how you should live it, one of the main things he talks about is taking responsibility. And I think that's a very important thing that a lot of people need to do. You need to stand up and own what you're doing and take responsibility. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but you need to accept it for what it is.
Very good. And what about I guess on Sunday, whenever we go to bed on Sunday night, that'll be a third of the year gone. So what aspects of your business are you most excited about for the last 2/3 of 2023?
The growth of the business, growth of the deli is the thing for me. You know, I know that the business up there is viable. I know that people like it. I like being in the shop and seeing the kids come in and see the sweets and their face light up. So I know there's something there. The current financial climate doesn't help. The weather doesn't help. So it's like, if we could have a nice sort of stretch of stability where I could really sort of focus on the shop and give the youngsters and give the adults the things that they want and watch it grow, even if it's slowly, I'm really looking forward to making it happen, because I do believe I can.
Excellent, excellent. And if somebody has listened to this and it sort of has pricked an interest, to maybe, if not get their hair cut, then maybe to go and visit the deli and get themselves a treat. Yeah. So to remind us whereabouts in Hollywood it is, please.
So the barbershop, you can always find it through the main Shanky website. Shanky's Jason is one of the biggest male grooming brands in the United Kingdom, so everyone can find him through his website. That's on Church Road, facing the little pen display car park. The deli is at the top end of town, up where the old police station used to be, on High Street in Hollywood. You can't miss it. I have a floral display at the front and a nice little garden with the seats and stuff, and it's normally full of kids eating loads of sugary sweets. And I'm right beside the dentist too, which I think the dentist sort of likes, because it's I should almost be in commission with him.
Oh, that's brilliant. Marty Walker from Jason Shanky Barber in Hollywood and Sweet and Savory Deli as well. I hope I got that right.
You did.
It's been great to hear from you this morning and hear about your journey and your businesses. And thank you very much for your time. And I wish you every success, ongoing success in the barber. And really, yeah, let's be interested to see. Let's see where the deli heads this year with a beautiful bit of sunshine behind it.
That's all we need. Bit of sunshine, we're good to go.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks very much, Marty.
Thank you, Peter.